Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor.
Law firms will take this as a retainer.
What? It must be a law firm where they hungry as hell. Now you gonna help me with this parole I'm dealing with?
Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor. With one taste of our premium blends of all-natural ingredients, herbs, and spices, you'll fall in love with meat all over again. Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce collection is made up of 2 zesty flavors, original and spicy. There's only one way to bring order back to barbecuing. Just add Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce and seasoning, and you be the judge.
And what I would like for you, when I say this, don't say anything until after I play the clip, okay?
All right.
So I think it was yesterday, writer and poet Nikki Giovanni, she passed away with lung cancer. She was, I believe, 81 or 82. And, you know, she is celebrated particularly not just in the literature world, but in Black history and Black culture and the Black community. And I want to play this clip. This was from, I believe, the 70s, of her and James Baldwin in conversation. And, you know, to me, this was kind of profound, her statement, right?
So everybody's jiving, but let's jive on that level.
If I love you, I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me, and you will. If you love me and you're going off with Maddie someplace, you're lying to me. Because what the hell do I care about the truth? I care if you're there. What Billie Holiday say, hush now, don't explain.
All right, I accept that.
Of course you lie to me, because I don't even want to care. What does the truth matter? And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everybody else? You lied when you smiled at that cracker down the job, right? Lie to me, smile. Treat me the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat you the way I treat him.
You must. Because I've caught the frowns and the anger. He's happy with you. Of course he doesn't know you're unhappy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch hell. Because I love you, I get least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, you know, fake it with me. Is that too much of the Black woman to ask of the Black man?
To fake it?
So what are your thoughts on Nikki Giovanni? All right.
Well, in 1967, she came to UCLA and she spoke in Pauley Pavilion to about 10,000 people. She did again in 1968, and the salient aspects of her speech were women do not need men. Men are the worst thing possible when it comes to raising children. So the best thing to do is find some tall, good-looking, intelligent, athletic man, get knocked up, and then don't even tell the son of a bitch that he's the daddy, because that's not going to do anything except, quote, F up to children. So she did that twice. She was going around the country, and she came to the BSU meeting afterwards, and we had some choice things to say to her.
Who is we?
Well, it included yours truly.
You and other men, Black men?
Black women too. Like, sister, what's wrong with you? Why are you trying to say we should not get married? Because it's a form of slavery. So she was saying the Black person in America has escaped slavery. Black women should not be foolish enough to put themselves back into slavery by getting married. You don't need to be married.
So would you say she was more of a feminist and not a freedom fighter?
She was a feminist and a foolish one.
So, and that was in the 1960s when she was going
to... full disclosure. When I had this show, the Black Alumni Association at UCLA was putting on an affair, and they had some very expensive tickets, and I bought 2 tables worth. When I found out she was going to be the honoree, I canceled the check and sent a long letter detailing why.
Oh. Well, that conversation she had with James Baldwin, that clip I just played, was in 1973. But in the 60s, like you said, she was going around different campuses telling Black women marriage is like slavery. Why just get pregnant by someone who has a good physique, but don't tell them you're pregnant and raise the child.
And see, context, 10,000 people, let's say 8,000 were at Pauley Pavilion. At the time in question, 1968, the total number of Black students in all of UCLA was just not quite 300. So how many of that 8,000 were Black women? Very few. It was addressed to white feminists, and that's who she got her support from. She even talks like that too.
She ended up getting married, but she married a woman, a white woman at that.
Yes. There you go. Remember the stories I told you about how this mess got started with the rainbow cult? Those that hated that they weren't men, the feminists, those that hated men, the lesbians, those that hated they weren't strong men, the beta boys, those that hated they weren't normal men, the gay boys, some of them, those that hated the fact that war was a man thing, the peacenik boys. See, it started off as a hate guy thing. And that's where we get to there. And she was one of the people that was spreading that word around strongly because they loved her. She had an afro. She was paper bag brown, and she was accomplished, and everybody loved her poetry. So they brought her in everywhere, and she spread that poison.
Wow.
That's the only thing I can term it, is poison. As a matter of fact, some of the conversation in that last BSU meeting was, are you so foolish as to not foresee how this is going to ruin the Black community if what you are advocating comes to pass? Do you think our community can survive if you destroy the family? Well, when you have men around, you don't have a family anyway. You just have a slave plantation inside one's household. So anyway, yeah, I classified a person as an enemy of the people. And I told her that too.
And what did she say?
She tried to defend it.
And you wasn't having it?
No, I wasn't as nice then as I am now.
You didn't have to be so polite.
Didn't have to be polite.
When you had your black leather coat on and your afro, you was part of Black Panthers during that time.
We won't talk about that. And I had a beard.
You were very militant. I saw the picture, honey. You was handsome.
Well, thank you. But, you know, I was, let's put it this way, community liaison to the Black Student Alliance for the UCLA Black Student Association, right. Black Student Union.
Okay. All right.
I did deal with a lot of Panther Party folk. I recruited John Huggins, Muncie Carter, Geronimo Pratt, a.k.a. G, Lane Brown, Nathaniel Clark, Gwen Goodlow, you name it.